We're in open.
No questions from the floor tonight.
Do we have agendas out there?
Mike DeVita is preparing it to bring up.
Yeah. We have an agenda, we have a single item on the agenda tonight. It's about hiring interim business administrator. Well, we opened that, but let's open again. Who's right for the flag salute? I know, we're going to do it twice because we're twice as patriotic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
While we're waiting,
Yes.
I handed out 2 pieces of information for our trustees. One is board administrator for school board members, what's going on that's noteworthy in the world of school boards. But secondly, most important, is a memo from the New Jersey Association of School Administrators. Tom Dunn is the Director of Legislative and Urban Affairs. And these are bills that are perhaps going to be acted on during lame duck session and of the legislature. So it's something to take a look at. And if you're so inclined, make comment or call. And some of them can have an impact. For example, there's one that wants to set a prevailing wage for cafeteria workers, which could in fact increase the cost of food service for all school districts in New Jersey. So these are, and the first one, Mr. Slaughter, is providing instruction in personal finance. There's pilot programs, so I just want to let you know. But I want to keep you posted on those.
I've been told that we're going to have the first of our installments tomorrow.
I believe they had one already, but this is...
I was told not, because I asked them.
Oh, maybe I'm mistaken then.
Tomorrow's the first day.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so I will be there at 9:30.
I'm referencing probably tomorrow.
Okay.
That won't be. Okay. Just need to give this here.
In the interest of time, may I say something else?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I anticipated a larger crowd, but since it's not here, that's okay by me. Several months ago, we had a discussion about a Saturday program to help kids and tutor them. And at that time, I suggested that maybe we should have that kind of program for parents so they can better help their children to learn. And I was soundly booed by the audience, which I really can't understand to this point why that occurred. But I was watching television during this last week, and I began to understand why I was booed. And I think it was because of the ignorance of the audience, to be quite honest. Because I saw on TV that this kind of thing exists in a lot of other schools. They call it Parent University. So I went to the internet and I looked it up. And it so happens that it exists in just one, there were several, in Colorado. And it had all kinds of accolades. And some of the things that were said about it were, and I quote, "I only wish I would have learned this information 10 years ago when my oldest child was starting school. It's a good opportunity for parents to learn new ideas in small bites and manage time well. Keep doing this. Helping parents understand how to help their children is of tremendous value." And then it goes on to say, "Hundreds of parents have registered for the class. The content, usefulness, and quality of instruction exceed the expectations of those who attended by 88%. 91% say the workshops they met their needs and helped them tremendously." So I guess it wasn't me. I guess, as I say, it was just the ignorance of the audience when they booed that suggestion. Or maybe there was another reason. They would have to tell me. Thank you.
Thank you all. This needs to be discussed in the closed. Can we do roll call? No, we didn't do the roll call. We're waiting for you, Mr.
Mr. Franicola.
Here.
Mr. Cook.
Here.
Mr. Mascartola.
Here.
Mr. Riley.
Here.
Mr. Rogers.
Here.
Mrs. Russo.
Here.
Mr. Sauter.
Here.
Mr. Sposato.
Here.
Dr. Sal.
Here. Okay. Okay, we have one resolution on the agenda tonight, appointment of the interim business administrator / board secretary. Any member of the public wish to be heard on this resolution item only?
You're the only one. Anything you want to say?
Hearing none. Mr. Francois, would you move the resolution?
Appointment of interim business administrator slash board secretary. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the appointment of Karen Yemens as interim business administrator slash board secretary effective December 2nd, 2009, at an interim rate of $550 per day. I so move.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'd just like to point out that this is an interim. This is not the permanent BA. We are still doing a very thorough for that. There are no health benefits involved with this position as it stands as an interim. So seeing no other discussion, please call the roll.
Mr. Francola.
Yes.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Mr. Mascotola.
Yes.
Mr. Riley.
Yes.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Mr. Russo.
Yes.
Mr. Sauter.
Yes.
Mr. Spizzato.
Yes.
Dr. Sal.
Yes. At this point, you come to hearing citizens on any school matter. Each person is limited to 3 minutes. You're not allowed to repeat. Come back to the microphone until everybody in the room has had a chance to do that. First person, please come up to the mic, state your name.
Mr. Mike Russo, 11 Beach Street. If anything suffering, step away, please.
Sorry.
Can you just tell me a little bit about her qualifications and about the process, how many other individuals there were, et cetera?
Go ahead.
If I may, we contacted the Association of School Business Administrators and asked for a list of interims. We also advertised with that group, telling that group that we were interested in securing an interim for the remainder of the school year. We spoke to our auditor, Mr. Vinci, who was here last week, who deals with a lot of school districts. We received approximately 8, I believe, resumes out of this inquiry. And of those 8, several were clearly not a good fit. We called the top 5 or 6. Interestingly enough, 3 declined to come in. They had already secured interim positions. We interviewed 3, and of the 3, 1 wanted to work 2 days a week. Clearly the job demands more than that. 1 wanted a high per hourly rate, which we thought was prohibited. That's not to say that we picked this person by the process of elimination. This individual just finished a run as the business administrator in Kearney, ironically. She was also worked for the Department of Education as the school business administrator for Hudson County. And in Wyckoff, she was the assistant business administrator. And before that, she came from the private sector where she worked as a contract negotiator, office manager, customer service manager, and early in her career, staff accountant. So that was her experience. And she's fully certified as a business administrator. And I did check personally her references, and they were all stellar. So that's how we decided on Mrs. Yates. And again, it's for the duration of the school year, at least at this point.
But it's an interim position, which means day to day, if we're not satisfied, we can go back out.
And I believe in the interviews, the board interviewed 3 top candidates last week, and I think everybody gave her a very, very accurate assessment of where we are and what we thought were the biggest challenges financially for the remainder of the school year.
When did she start?
We have tapped her for the 2nd, which is Wednesday. Wednesday? Wednesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday.
Anyone else want to hear about any other issue? Good. Close that portion of the meeting. Before I call for an adjournment, there is one item I wanted to discuss, but it's something for closed. If we can close, I'm not quite sure we're going to come back out and take any action, but we may.
Mr. President, before you adjourn, I just have one thing to add, so that we don't have to, so you could adjourn quickly, or would you rather wait? Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay. As many of you know, last week we had a very lively discussion regarding transparency. This board, as far as I know, is committed to being transparent and to advising the public as to what we're doing, where we're doing it, and how we're doing it. I think open government is very, very good. something that a lot of municipalities don't do. It's something that a lot of school boards don't do. But saying that, insofar as the policy committee is concerned, and I am chairman of that committee, in speaking to some of my colleagues on the committee, we've agreed to modify the way that we're going to be conducting our policy committees. What we believe will be a better process is to have individuals in the public who would like to express their ideas, their positions, their suggestions on the policies that we are working on, is to submit them in writing. This will avoid any rumors, it'll avoid misinterpretations, it'll avoid a lot of the problems that we face by having a very open discussion with individuals. Now, on the converse, we have a responsibility to inform the public as to what we're doing and advise the public as to what policies we're going to be discussing. So I, in turn, will be submitting to every member of this board everything we're doing in writing, so that there will be no room for misinterpretation, people will not be misquoted, and things will not be said that should not be said. So we're still going to be transparent on the committee. The idea of having things in writing, I think, is good. And certainly if we have any questions of any member of the public who submits something, at that time may be appropriate to invite them. But it'll certainly avoid a lot of problems that we face by being as open and as frank as we had been over the past few weeks. So I just want to make absolutely sure that the public understands that this isn't cutting back on transparency, it's just modifying the way we do business to avoid conflicts. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. All right, at this time, I'd like to have someone put a motion on the floor to go into closed.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We'll be back. Well, here, one of the teachers got the letter. Yeah, go right here.
Stand up, Paul? Yeah, make better meetings. Stand up, Paul.
Stand up, close.
As opposed to the city.
There's a lot of stand-up meeting going, the meeting comedy going on.
Right, before I call for a motion to adjourn, we're talking about negotiations and whatnot with the administrators. Going to add Mr. Sposato to the negotiation committee, which consists of Mr. Rogers and Mr. Cook, and I will sit on that one myself. We need to set up a point in time to meet with our the VA assistant and superintendent as well. And next Monday, if we don't have a resolution to what we just discussed, that'll be the team that also speaks to the other personnel that are maybe unresolved at that time.
So you want to have
Tommy and myself. Okay. Anyone else have anything to add? You have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second. All in favor? Aye.